react to this video that was released earlier today after the verdict of Justin Johnson was handed down after a week of trial in Memphis, Tennessee for the homicide of young Dolph. Let's get into it. What I'm looking to do here is just kind of give a little additional context. I think this video, I've seen it, I looked at it earlier, it was produced very well and includes some pretty accurate content. I want to slow it down for those who may not be aware or may not have a connection directly to Memphis to understand some of the nuance that's depicted in this video.
That the hit was paid for by Big Juke, the older brother of Yo Gotti, who was taken out 8 months ago. Now, so many
shout out to the Lionel B show. This is where this clip comes from.
Many revelations have come from the case, including them being stiffed and only paid $800, and also Yo Gotti paying $50,000 to the attorney of Dolph's killer. Now, Juke.
Now, if you were watching the case, it's actually pretty interesting that I think it was revealed. I don't know exactly on which date that this part was revealed. That according to some reports, is that CMG either through Gotti directly or indirectly paid for the attorney for one of the defendants in this trial.
Revealed to Cornelius Smith that if anything happens to them, he would get them the best lawyers. Instead of CMG paying them in full for the hit, instead they paid for their lawyers.
So allegedly there was a $100,000 bounty that was to be paid upon young Dolph's death. So now they're saying some of that $100,000 because the reports are saying that they didn't get they got very little of the money, like somewhere around $800 of the money, not $100,000. Now it seems to be now the reports seem to be saying that $50,000 of that promised money was supposed to be for attorney fees after the fact.
Yo Gotti is being investigated by the feds involving the hit and also RICO charges of running a criminal empire disguised as a record label. Now, Justin Johnson, one of the assailants.
I don't know if a lot of people may not know. I think Yo Gotti has changed the name of his group from Cocaine Music Group to the Collective Music Group to try to clean up that image.
And the man that was driving the white Mercedes has been found guilty. Also, the internet found footage of him standing right behind young Dolph during one of his concerts looking like a straight up fan. His charges are guilty on conspiracy to commit murder, guilty on first-degree murder, and guilty of a convicted felon in possession of a weapon. Now, Justin Johnson gets an instant sentence of life in prison from the judge for first-degree murder. He'll get additional sentencing date on November the 1st for the guilty counts of conspiracy to commit murder and convicted felon in possession of a weapon. Now, we are currently awaiting the charges of the other assailants that were involved in Dolph's hit. It's important to remember once Yo Gotti gets indicted, he will face at least 15 years in prison for the RICO and even more time when linked to the murder of young Dolph.
Now, I don't know where that's coming from. I think that's a little too premature to say what that's looking like. I think they're looking at young Thug's legal situation and maybe painting that type of activity with a broad brush and applying it to what Yo Gotti is doing. I don't know if you can do that, just off the cuff like that, or instantly. I think this is all at this point is just conjecture. I mean, no one can give you definitive insight into what that's going to look like until those charges come down. I think it's just presumed, based on what he raps about in his music. He's not shy about talking about what his lifestyle was, what his life used to be, how he got to where he is now, on the backs of some of the activity he used to be involved in. If you are familiar with his background in Memphis, he grew up in that lifestyle. His mom, his aunties, his uncles were all in that life back in the 80s. When you were in Memphis in the 80s and you heard of the Bovan family, that meant something. You knew what kind of time that was on. And he was just a kid at that time. But he came up in that family. That's all his family has ever known. They were doing things big in a way that that rivals the way even people live now who have money. And just think back to how wild it was in the 80s with everything that was available out there for out there on the market for people to buy, and they were selling it. And again, he's not shy about it. I think a lot of people forget, because he's been kind of far removed from that life, cleaned up himself, doing legal business, getting involved, making business deals happen, and getting involved in things that he never would have had the opportunity to do, if he kept in the same lifestyle he was in. But I think a lot of people forget, especially, growing up in the area that he grew up in. He grew up in the Ridgecrest apartments. He went to Tresman High School. Ridgecrest was not that was a rough place. Growing up in North Memphis is a rough place. And you have to be tough. You have to be tough. You have to be strong. You have to have determination to get out of, a situation like that. So, I think that's what people like about, you encounter people from Memphis. You listen to Memphis music. It represents strength, grit, determination. And that's something you don't get in a lot of places. And I think that's why people gravitate to, some of the artists, some of the Memphis artists, and some of the Memphis sounds, some of the things, about Memphis. And a lot of people forget that, again, even though he's far removed, that's what made him who he was. So, you just have to think about that when putting into context about, how his name is associated with, things that are going on right now.
Now check out this footage here of the court case.
Calling the shots, Quit puts you and Justin together. Right. And you and Justin are cool with each other and interact with each other over the months. You said at least 5 times. You're trying to, now we're back after the murder, you're trying to get your money. Right.
Now I'm gonna say, the Lionel B Show has this tagline at the bottom that says, Yo Gotti paid for hit. I don't know if this is for, no one's saying that. They're saying the brother, Big Jook, was the one who was responsible for it. But, I guess if you dig deep and you peel the layers back, Big Jook wasn't the one with the money. It was Yo Gotti. So you have to presume, especially with the background that they have, that, the conversation, may have been had, somehow or another, to make something happen, and for that money to be available to pay somebody to make something happen. But no one's saying that. I guess, again, indirectly, it's all over the streets. It's always has been, even when Dolph was still alive. The talk was that Gotti was behind anything that ever happened or attempted to happen to Dolph.
You're having conversations with Justin, is that correct?
Yeah, I would take me home like what I'm saying? I need that money for the party, you know what I'm saying?
Are there times that you're trying to communicate with Justin and in fact you're communicating with somebody else?
I ain't know it, you know what I'm saying? At the time I ain't know.
Okay. Did you come to find out that Jamarcus Johnson had Justin's phone after the murder?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I found out I got locked up.
When you were communicating with Justin, okay, these times when Jamarcus had his phone doing three-way stuff or whatever, what was the substance of those conversations?
Well, the first time I was on the way back from Atlanta, he said he had got a little package from his homeboy so we could have some money in our pocket or whatever. And I was coming back from Atlanta, so I I was like 2 hours out. So I was like, man, I don't want to just put it in the mailbox. But he said he got a letter with it too. And I know.
Don't you love it? You from Memphis, you know this. We hear this all the time. They will put Maine in a sentence anywhere. It's funny. It's cool though.
Be too many folks in my dad's name who should really be seeing what put in the mailbox and go back. So I told him to get it to the lady in the door, like a grandma figure to you or whatever. And he gave her $500 in a letter.
$500 in a letter. And obviously you're supposed to get $40,000.
Right.
But you got $500 in a letter.
You team right here.
There you go. That man is singing. He said he was supposed to get $40,000. He's sitting there in a prison uniform, talking about how he was gonna get $40,000. It's something. It just says something how the state of where we are right now, that people will think about taking people out of here, off of the planet for $40,000. That is wild. You can go get a job. You can go get a truck. It don't even have to be a good truck. It can just be a truck that's working. Get you a pressure washer, and a tank to hold some water in there, and go wash cars. And you're gonna make it. It's gonna take a little while, but you'll make it. And guess what? You don't have to unalive somebody. Man.
And what was the substance of the letter?
Saying that Juke said we get caught up, make sure we had the best lawyers and all that old stuff. We hot right now.
And this first payment is when you get back from Atlanta.
Yeah.
How did you got into Atlanta?
Me and my girl had went out there. After they found the cop, we went on out there.
Okay. Get scarce.
Yeah. I got scared. I got on game.
Did y'all drive out there?
We drove out there.
Stay in a hotel?
Yeah, stayed in a hotel.
About how long were you gone?
I was gone for a day.
It's interesting when he said he got scared. Because if you look at the footage, and I'm contrasting this with the footage of Justin Johnson and the moves he made leading up to the incident meeting that ended young Dolph's life. Justin was in a very strange way. It's almost like he just didn't have a concern about anything. He wasn't bothered. When you're talking about making those, this type of decision, getting involved in this kind of activity, you have to have a very, very specific mindset to not be bothered, to go about your day and not be scared, not be bothered, not be affected. But it's really, really telling the different perspectives and mindsets and dispositions of two people working together to carry out this hit. One is unaffected, unbothered, and the other one is scared. I don't know how they even pull this off with that mix.
Handed my money on me.
You don't have money, you gotta come back.
Yeah, I gotta come back.
And you come back, you pick up that money from the woman?
Yeah, I picked up the money from her, and I saw how much it was. I'm like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
What is that? Is he saying he's supposed to pick up $40,000, but only picked up $500, and he was like, "Oh hell no."
You can spend that on pills in one day. Man.
Yeah, that's over. Yeah, that's bad.
What'd you do with the letter?
I flushed down the toilet in the hotel room.
All right. Is that the only time you got any money from Justin?
Nah, a couple days later, I was in the city or whatever, and he was saying that he was gonna have his folks pull up on me, bring me some money or whatever, hold me down. So, dang, he pulled up about 20, 30,000. You know what I mean? But I had my girl to get out the car, and she met the person that was driving on the street or whatever. I had her to have her face mask on, and she said they had their face masks on, so we don't know who it was.
They conducting a transaction with face masks on. These are dummies. They don't know what they was involved in. I think this guy, I'm not really sure what his mindset was, but if he was if he was already scared, you know, it very likely could have ended up with him being wiped off the map too, just for how he was moving, and then having someone else, this girl who his girlfriend was running around with him, you know, acting like you know, I guess with the Pooh Shiesty mask, acting tough too. Really interesting.
They got $300.
$300.
Oh.
Okay.
They met up with ski mask on the train to hand off $300. $300, and they moving like this.
This is from Justin's folks.
Yeah, they're from Justin's folks.
All right, so now we've been paid about $800.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And that's all he got. $500 in one whop and $300 in the other. Ended someone's life. $800.
Is there any other payment coming?
All the payments stopped.
All the payments stopped.
Everything stopped.
Is there any time that you or your girlfriend or anybody received a large?
Nah.
Okay, he's got $50,000 to represent you. Did he not?
I don't know exactly how much you get. I don't know.
Okay. All right. And you knew that, just so we're all clear here, that money came from CMG, right?
Yeah, I don't know exactly who, but yeah.
All right.
Did y'all hear that? That $50,000 allegedly came from CMG. Why would they send him that? I'll let you talk about it in the comments.
So you talked today. You got paid for what you just testified to, didn't you?
I down locked up.
You got paid.
My lawyer was paid.
You got $50,000 to pay a lawyer, right?
I didn't get in my hand. I don't know how much it was, but my lawyer.
Okay. And there's no question that money was for services rendered. Killing dogs. You took it, didn't you?
Yeah.
Did your conscience bother you?
Come on.
Your conscience.
After I came to my senses, yeah.
Did you say, I can't have that money? I can't use that money.
Y'all didn't hear that. He said after he came to his senses, then he was bothered.
But you still got a lawyer here.
Nah, I ain't say that.
You took the money.
Yeah, I took the money. I got the money.
Your conscience wasn't bothering you that bad, right? You said your conscience started bothering you, but not bad enough not to take the money for the job you did.
Well, I had already did it, so might as well. You know, I got a conscience still, because they came to my senses.
Right. Okay.
Caught red-handed. Now, justice have definitely been served. Now we're just waiting on them charges to come down for Yo Gotti.